I want to go to the camp out there in Indianapolis. And yeah, I'm going to get into the running back thing again with the Indianapolis Colts and Jim Irsay and one Mr. Jonathan Taylor. This is truly a fascinating story. Because, at first I was asked about it. Well, how would you handle this as far as Jonathan Taylor goes from a fantasy perspective? Well, my initial thought was, listen, when it's time for the check to be direct deposit and the games to get started, Jonathan Taylor will be there. But now as I'm learning more about the story, I think both sides could possibly be dug in here. And even if JT is there to start the season, I'm not sure he's going to be in the best mood or the best spirits. Now, remember, I told you way back in April, well, not way back because it wasn't that long ago, when JT showed up for Colts OTAs, he was talking, listen, I signed the deal. You know what I'm saying? I plan to live up to the intention of that deal. This is where I want to be at. Indianapolis is my home. In so many words, he was doing the whole player speak when they kind of want to push the contract talk to the back. Well, apparently, I guess during the course of the offseason, he changed his agent, brought a new agent in there, and then that's when the problems really started. And see, the problem is when you have a problem in Indianapolis, you got a problem with Jim Irsay. Jim Irsay is not Arthur Blank. Jim Irsay ain't some guy that's going to, avoid the question, dodge the question, say the right things in the media. Jim Irsay is with all the shits. And he started talking big shit. He basically said, listen, contract is his. We're not trading him. You know what I mean? This, that, and the third. Also, hey, I die today. Jonathan Taylor's going. Guess what? The NFL will continue to go on. Now, people took offense to that comment, but that comment was absolutely true. Knock on wood, if something was to happen to Irsay or Taylor, the games would still be played. So he was right about that. But the question is, what exactly happened in the latter stages of the offseason that brought these two teams to this? Because despite OTAs, everybody in Indy says when Taylor showed up for training camp, he was noticeably hostile. He was noticeably upset. So obviously the contract was an issue. Then he got on that damn running back Zoom call. You see, this is what happened to Taylor and his agent. All this talk about the running backs eating out the trash can, the running backs living in poverty, put a battery in Taylor's back. That's exactly what happened. His agent get with him. The other running backs get with him. And he go huffing and puffing in there. I want my money now. Irsay's like, I'm a franchise tag you next year. Get out my face, son. So he was upset. Tried to do the sit-in move, talking about his injuries. Basically wanted to be at camp, not get fined, but not participate. Irsay said, you know what? Flare me if you want to. I'll throw you on the NFI list, and then I'll have you for 2 more seasons, then the contract year. So obviously they're not going to do that. That talk has calmed down some. So apparently, initially, the trade request was denied. But now it seems like Jonathan Taylor could possibly get traded before the season starts this year. This thing is kind of going to a spot to where nobody thought it would go, and it got there very quickly. So after one of the early practices, Taylor and Irsay, the two of them got on the bus, on Irsay's bus, and they had a conversation. They was in there for an hour. That's what the reports say. When they came out, it seems like Irsay was ready to move on or potentially take offers for Jonathan Taylor. So it must have got real spicy on that bus. And let me tell you something. I'm quite sure Jim Irsay can get spicy with the spiciest of them. So this situation right here with the Indianapolis Colts is going to be fascinating as we move throughout the month of August and then we get closer to Labor Day and the start of the season. Could they start the season without Jonathan Taylor? I still think he's there, but I'm not kind of sure what his attitude is going to be. I'm not sure what his mood is going to be, and I'm not sure if he's going to give 100% effort. So right now, I don't want to ever say nobody's off my board for fantasy because if the price is right, you're going to go for it. But unless you're getting Taylor as an RB3, I really think you got to lay off Jonathan Taylor. That's an executive decision to make right there.